Welcome to Frog Talk, an Auction Frogs podcast series all about events and fundraising in a post-2020 world. For more information on Auction Frogs and the services we offer, visit auctionfrogs.org today.
Hi, and welcome to Frog Talk, your leap into fundraising. I'm Corey Michaels, and today I am so honored to have with me Mindy with Ronald McDonald House, the executive director. Just had an online virtual event, and I think it went really well. How are you feeling now?
Yeah, I think it went great, Corey. It's so exciting. You know, so many questions, right? How's it going to work? Is it really going to be able to engage with people? Are we going to have the same excitement for our mission? And at the end of the day, I kind of think our overall outcome was better than we ever could have expected.
That's so exciting to hear. And I love the Ronald McDonald House and have been a supporter, for the, 31 years?
Ish. We're rolling on 33.
Is it 33 now?
Yeah, I know.
Oh, goodness.
Time goes fast.
It really does. Now, when obviously, Ronald McDonald House does such fabulous work and relies so much on the donor base to be able to continue the work that is being done and to allow this safe haven for these families that are going through so much. When all of this first happened with the pandemic and everything, what were you thinking as far as trying to maneuver the fundraising that is so vital?
Yeah, it's been an interesting year. I think that's probably the understatement of the year. But
right.
For us, I guess you can say we kind of draw a little inspiration from our families, right? That this whole past year has been, we envision a lot like what families at the Ronald McDonald House go through every day. You never quite know what tomorrow's going to bring.
Right.
There's a lot of medical questions, concerns, information, disinformation. You're just trying to do the best you can and get through one day at a time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And for families at the Ronald McDonald House, that's their normal. So
sadly enough, yes.
So that's kind of helped maybe all of us to develop a little perspective. And we have an incredible community of support, not just in the Treasure Valley, but honestly throughout Idaho. And the families that stay at the Ronald McDonald House or Ronald McDonald Family Room, they come from all across the state. So for us, it was really, how can we engage in that community of support? How do we reach out to those people who we know are bought into what we do and have made it possible for us to keep our doors open this long and really, in a way, almost, you certainly could get people to return your phone calls a little easier because everybody is home, right? And I think just our caring community saw not only ours, but a lot of nonprofits, our struggle, because it didn't matter that COVID was going on. We still had hundreds of families who had kids in the hospital, and they needed us more than ever.
Right.
So I think the lesson we learned was maybe compassion and ingenuity would help bring the people that we needed together to make it happen.
Yeah, and there was so many things in 2020 that were so tough in trying to transition, trying to evolve, trying to figure out what is normal anymore. For these families that are in that situation, their normal hasn't been normal since the day they got whatever that diagnosis happened to be. And so their world already changed. Their world changed in such a profound way that all that we have had to go through with wearing pajamas and doing Zoom meetings and figuring out what restaurants we could go to or not, all of that pales in comparison to a family with a child that is struggling. And whatever that struggle happens to be, that is their world. And the belonging, the home, the ability to be close that the Ronald McDonald House gives is something that is, the one thing that they can hold on to, some semblance of home, and family. And so it's always been wonderful to be able to work with the Ronald McDonald House and the fabulous staff that is there. So what made you decide to go with Auction Frogs and to go this virtual route?
A couple things. Virtual, you're right, has kind of become the way of the world. And I guess you could say we go way back with Auction Frogs, like to the very beginning. I have had the good fortune of knowing Christy for a lot of years. And it's been exciting to see it evolve. One of the things I think that was fun, almost, if you can find fun, in the middle of it, was the creativity that existed as you saw people kind of moving into that virtual world. And we were pretty fortunate at Ronald McDonald House Charities, because our gala, our Red Shoe Shindig, happened last February. So weeks literally before the face of in-person fundraising and events and everything changed. So we had a lot of time to plan. We had a lot of time to see. And it was really inspiring to see the creativity and to see what worked, what didn't work. And when you look at kind of, who's our friends, who's our community of support, of course, Auction Frogs is right up at the top of that list. And that, again, longtime partnership. We wanted to go with somebody that we knew us,
right,
knew what was important to us, kind of shared our vision, and that we knew we could count on. So they just checked all the boxes for us.
Well, that is wonderful. What advice would you give another nonprofit? Say I am, maybe it's a new nonprofit, maybe, last year, and there was a lot of nonprofits that unfortunately made the decision they weren't going to do any fundraising. And that broke my heart, because the need is still there. Our world might have stopped. The need did not. And as you had touched on a little while ago, you still have to be able to take care of, in your case, these families, these individuals that are going through such a horrific situation. But if I'm a brand new nonprofit, or I took that skip, what advice would you give me in fundraising heading forward with still all the unknowns that we have?
Yeah, so all the unknowns are all the unknowns, right?
Yeah.
And honestly, I think most organizations and nonprofits are looking at it every day. So 3 months out, what should we expect? 4 months out, what should we expect? What about in the fall? I mean, we've gone through a whole year of this, right? And are kind of getting to the point. So for us, making the decision, just saying, you know what, we're not going to wait and see. We're going to plan to have the event in this manner and move ahead.
Right.
It was important. And for us, it was not only obviously the fundraising is key and crucial. It's what keeps our doors open. It's what keeps us being able to operate. It's what keeps us being able to serve families day after day. But we also need to reach out to the people who do care for us, our supporters, our volunteers, our donors, our families. It was kind of exciting to see all of the comments and coming in when we were doing the live event. And so many of them were from families who'd stayed with us and just kind of sharing, I was there when my twins were born, or, it's been 20 years, but I still remember everything the Ronald McDonald House did for me. That was great. And so being able to engage with those people who care about what you do, it matters, right? They want to hear from you and they want to support you, right? They're part of your family. They're part of what's there for you. So don't don't sell yourself short, because people still want to give and they still want to care.
Well, and one thing that people really want to know is what's going on. You know, as much as they're worried about their family, themselves in going through this, a nonprofit, a cause that they care about, they worry about them too. They worry about those families, and being able to be engaged, know that what they're doing matters. And a perfect example of that, and something I want to talk about, is you guys had an amazing change with a new facility right before everything happened, you know, last year with the pandemic and the shutdown. So most people have never seen, they don't know what's going on with all the fabulous changes that have happened.
Yeah, it's, we, opened our new Ronald McDonald house, 47 rooms, which was 3 times the size that we were before. And just this huge, beautiful 42,000 square foot building. And then 5 weeks later,
yeah,
when I say closed our doors, we've continued to serve families the entire time, but the way we did it significantly changed.
Right.
No volunteers. We haven't had our volunteers in over a year, and really they're such a crucial part of our workforce. They do everything for us. Work the desk, make meals, work events. That's been a struggle. You're right. There were a lot of people who were like, I've never even seen inside the new house.
Right.
And we're like, I know, we're so sorry. We've got our virtual tour, but it's not the same. It's not. And so it's funny. We were still looking for that new normal long before, for 5 weeks before COVID. And so it's like, wow, I wonder what our new normal will be once things kind of go back to normal, because we had so many changes right away. But the good part about all that is, we didn't have to turn anybody away. For several years, just not having the space, not having the capacity, having to say no to a family at a time of their absolute worst need was so difficult for us. And when you think about it, at the end of the day, just not acceptable for us as an organization. So being able to get the new house built and open and ready and under budget and on time and all of those exciting things.
And you want to celebrate that, and you want to just shout from the rooftop. And
yeah,
here we are.
But we're really thankful and grateful because we would have struggled had we not been in our new space. We would have had a hard time distancing people in a safe way. We would have had a really hard time keeping it clean in the way that we're able to now with all the disinfecting. We would have had a hard time getting our staff in. We were practically 2, 3, 4 people working in one office. It would have been tricky. So the new house has allowed us a lot of ability to keep operating in a really safe way, in a way that we know is, kind of protecting the integrity of our family's health and well-being, and obviously having kiddos with really compromised immune systems and issues, that's critical to us. So,
and where is the new house?
It is a few steps away from the old one. Right? Location. So we are located just across the street from St. Luke's Children's Hospital, and just a short drive to St. Alphonsus. We serve both hospitals. It was really important for us to be near the pediatric medical services for families. A lot of the families that stay with us, regular transportation can be a challenge. Maybe they only have one car and somebody needs to stay behind in Twin Falls and work. And so being able to be just within steps of the hospital is critical, really critical. So when we were looking for a space, that was part of it, right? We had to find somewhere like that.
Well, Mindy, thank you. Thank you for what you do every single day, and you and the staff. And I can hardly wait till our world's in a better place and I can just be able to hug each and every one of you and come down and be able to see the facility in person.
We look forward to that too.
All right. And for people who want to follow along and know what's happening and how they can be able to help, how can they follow you?
Yeah, so on our website, rmhcidaho.org, you will find all of our social channels there, and we invite you to, engage with us, learn about what we're up to, and kind of share different ideas and ways that you'd like to get involved.
All right. Well, Mindy, thank you so much. And for you, if you need help with any of your fundraising, whether it is a gala, a virtual event, whatever galas are going to be, moving forward, golf tournament, walk, whatever it is, we have our fundraising specialists that are here. We would love to be able to talk with you on how we can be able to make the most out of your fundraising. You can go to auctionfrogs.org.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of Frog Talk, an Auction Frogs podcast series all about events and fundraising in a post-2020 world. For more information on Auction Frogs and the services we offer, visit auctionfrogs.org today.